New year, same season. Ozone, season 2. New year, same season. City stay frozen. Big apple pressure when you step in the ozone, man. Jets, Knicks, Giants, Pinstripes, orange and blue. Whole city locked in, yeah, they tuned in too. Press play, turn it up, yeah, the tone stay polling. If it's New York sports, welcome to the ozone. Welcome to the ozone. Same city, New Year, same pressure, new tone. New York, boys loud, it's the ozone. Yeah, New York outside again. New Year, same season. Ozone, season 2. Let's go.
You have entered the ozone with Omar and Dave.
Let's go, baby. We are here. You guys are officially into the ozone. It's your boy Omar here. And it's good to be back with a regular episode. It's good to be back because we got so much to unpack. We got so much to miss. Yes, we have been fully tapped in with the Knicks, guys, and we appreciate you guys who've been tapping in on the playoff recap lives. But we got a brand new episode out today because there's so much that we got to get into. The NFL draft, the Giants and Jets are making their picks. They've made their picks to see who's going to make us good in the future, who's going to have the biggest impact this season. We're going to discuss it all. We're talking about our two New York baseball teams going in completely different directions as the Yankees continue to soar. The Mets continue to find new ways to lose. And we're also talking some wrestling, WWE with their annual post-WrestleMania cuts. We're going to talk about which stars who've been cut and what company should they go to next. We're going to discuss it all, but we can't discuss it without the best co-host in the business, super producer Dave. Brother, I felt like I've been seeing you every day with these lives, but it's a new week. How are we feeling?
It's a good thing that we like each other then, right?
Right. Yup.
It's a good thing. Brother, I'm feeling good. The draft also happened, so we got to talk about that. The Yankees, that's our team, and they're doing great. And then the Mets, the team that we want to like, just gives us reason not to like them. But I'm feeling good, brother. I saw my favorite band this week, picked up some merch, had a good week.
Nice. Guys, the NFL draft was last week, and like I said, we didn't forget about it. We knew we wanted to do an episode to unpack and whatever how you say, whatever the term is, talk about this draft. So let's get into it. This is Clockwork. All right, y'all, this is Clockwork. This is where the Jets and the Giants are officially on the clock about their offseason moves and draftees, and they were literally on the clock last week as the Giants and Jets with multiple first-round picks made their picks. And let's just talk about, I'm being biased host. I got to talk about my team, the New York Giants. I felt like back-to-back years, the Giants got a good grade last year with their picks, and I think this year they got even better grade. Obviously, let's talk about their first pick with the number 5 pick, Arvell Reese, the linebacker, defensive edge rusher from Ohio State. And then you talk about getting a lineman with Francis. I am going to botch his last name, Francis Magui. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his name, brother.
Let's just stick with Francis for him.
Yeah, let's just stick with Big Francis. Big Francis. Hopefully he's not like top flopper AJ Francis. For my wrestling fans who know. But Arvell Reese, I'll tell you this. You look at every draft, every mock draft from Mel Kiper to so on to Joe Schmoes from Brooklyn. Arvell Reese, man, they had Arvell Reese going within the top 3 picks. I don't think I saw any mock drafts, brother, with Arvell Reese going 5 to the Giants. And I tell you this guy's a stud. Big kid, 6'4", 241 pounds. Right now his prospect grade on NFL Draft is a 7. So from that scale of a 7, they have him at Pro Bowl talent. So they have a Pro Bowl talent of 7 to 7.1, right? So right now they got him at a 7.4. So right now that's something that you're looking at that's really good. But you just talk about it. He played 16 games. He started in 2 national championships, 43 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss. Like he's first team Associated Press All-American, Big Ten Conference Linebacker of the Year, first team All Big Ten. He was a finalist for the Buckus Award, which is the nation's top linebacker award. Started all 14 games, 69 tackles, 10 tackles for a loss with 6.5 sacks. Brother, this kid is a beast. The Giants, obviously, they are building something. You saw it last year, Abdul Carter. A few years back with Kayvon Thibodeau. We know what Brian Burns is going to do. And I love this move because you get rid of Dexter Lawrence. Obviously, Dexter Lawrence, we traded him for the 10th overall pick to the Cincinnati Bengals. How we acquired Big Francis. But I love this move. The fact that Arvell Reese was left at 5 was a blessing for the Giant fans. And I know now people want to nitpick his press conference. They asked him a question of who's he excited to play with for, and he kind of took a minute and he mentioned Jackson Dart. So now people are saying he didn't know the roster. I'm not going to give a college kid too much crap on him not knowing the team. He's not on the team. Like, yeah, he knows Jackson Dart because Jackson Dart getting a lot of the pub out there, but now, when he meets the team, I think that's blown out of proportion. That's New York media. But at the end of the day, I love what the Giants did with this pick because it also, which I don't see, you hear the rumblings, the rumors about Kayvon Thibodeau being traded, but at least now you give the Giants a little bit more flexibility. So if they want to flip Kayvon Thibodeau, they can. And before I let you go on your thoughts, brother, let's just go down the other picks. I think another steal was Colton Hood. Colton Hood, cornerback. He was the 37th pick in the second round for the Giants. I think that was the reason why I think the Giants didn't go with Caleb Downs. A lot of people wanted Caleb Downs at 10, especially if he was available at 10, which he was. I wanted Caleb Downs, but when you look at Colton Hood, I think what he brings to the cornerback position is not that far off from what Caleb Downs is going to bring you. You look at his next gen stats according to NFL, his production score was a 76. That ranks him 6th among all the cornerbacks in the draft combine. His athleticism score was an 84. That ranked him 3rd amongst all the cornerbacks in the combine. And then his total score of 82, ranking him 2nd. So you look at trying to get that production from him. He was a 3rd team all SEC, started on 12 games, 50 tackles, 4.5 tackles for a loss. He had an interception for a return for a touchdown, 8 PBUs, 1 forced fumble. This kid is gonna add some dog to this Giants, and I think that was their psyche, brother. Like, you know what? We can get this kid not that far off from Caleb Downs, but we can get him in the second round. So let's go get Big Francis at 10, because it goes back to what Tiki Barber would say. For those that listen to Tiki Barber on the Fan, Tiki Barber always says you got to build the ass first. Pause. And when you got a franchise quarterback like Dart, and the number one thing with Dart is you don't want him getting hit, right? Because the whole concussions and everything, you need to back that ass up and build the line. So I thought the Giants thinking of that. And then one more, brother, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to pretend to know this guy because I'm not that tapped in with college football. This is me looking at, what's given us in the internet, right, brother? But you look at now this kid out of Notre Dame, this wide receiver that Malachi Fields. And Giant fans are really raving about this kid. Like I said, I'm not going to pretend to know him. All I know is, and I think it's a hell of a stretch. Some are saying we got a baby Megatron. I'm like, wait, let's keep a cool booty first. Let's not even put this kind of pressure on this kid, but he's got the size, 6'4", 218 pounds. His production score, like I said, according to Next Gen, 70. His athleticism is 72. His total scores is 74. So he was ranked within the top 22 as far as wide receivers. He was third team ACC. He led Notre Dame in 2024 with 55 receptions for over 888 yards. He started all 12 games in 2025. He had 5 touchdowns, 630 receiving yards. So his comparison right now, brother, his NFL comparison is Michael Pittman Jr. And I'll tell you this. You and I both because I felt like Michael Pittman, you helped me draft Michael Pittman every year in fantasy. I feel like when Michael Pittman, if he can be anything close to Michael Pittman, sign me up. Brother, what's your thoughts on the Giants drafts and yeah, what's your thoughts?
All right. So with the first pick, Arbel Reese, I like him. Look, the Giants front seven is something that we've highly criticized, I think, in the last couple of years since we started recording. The Giants has always been known as somebody who's going to get in your face and punch them in the mouth, as Strahan famously said going into that 2007 Super Bowl about Tom Brady. If you do that, you're going to knock him off course. And that's been something they've gotten away from in the last maybe 10, maybe closer to 12 years, right? The Giants have not been known for that, and Arbel Reese is someone who can add to that. Yes, you get rid of Dexter Lawrence, and while that is something that can hurt you, it also can help the team as well, because at the end of the day, this guy didn't want to play for Harbaugh. It seems like it just something wasn't gelling right away, and he just wanted out, and that's fine. Go where you need to. But this helps the Giants right away. This gives off some pressure off the guys that you guys already have in that front seven. And I got him immediately. If he's not starting, he has many, many snaps starting his season. He takes a lot of pressure off those guys in the front seven. The Giants got younger in the middle of that defense. As far as Francis is somebody you, like you said, protect the quarterback. And this is something that I feel like teams get away from too much. You go for the sexy picks. You go after wide receiver, running back, or that stud defensive player. That's great. But then when your guy is getting hurt or knocked around looking like Joe Burrow or retiring early like Andrew Luck, well, then this is the problems that you did because you avoided addressing the real issues. You can't always rely on trades and free agency to get you linebackers. Sometimes you just have to home grow those guys, and it looks like Francis may be that guy. It's a lot less sexy when you look at it on paper, but if you are a fan and if you are in tune with the Giants, then you would really be happy that the fact that they're investing in Jackson Dart. You're on mute, brother.
My bad, bro. I was telling you that his nickname is CC.
Ooh,
that's what they're saying, CC. I like Big Francis though. I like us creating new nicknames, and we could get that out. So when here you go, wait a minute, the guys at the Ozone was calling him Big Francis.
Yep. Oh, yeah. One more last thing.
No, go ahead, my brother. I just want to highlight that. My bad for cutting you off. My bad.
No, but Malachi Fields is somebody who definitely the wide receiver room for the Giants has been lacking. Let's just call it a spade a spade.
Malik Neighbors.
Right, and we hope that he goes back to form going into the season. He got hurt really early in the season, so you would hope that he's ready to go at least by the end of September, if anything. But this is a guy who definitely can move the chains, and that's what you definitely need aside of like our neighbors who can go fly and get get you big yardage. You want somebody who also is going to be like, all right, we need a first down right now. And it looks like everything we've seen from Malachi Fields post draft coverage, like you said, we don't cover that college football that much, but we do stay in tune as much as we can, and it helps when the draft comes up because there's a spotlight on these guys. So from what we've seen from Malachi Fields, he looks like someone who's going to move the chains, and that's going to help a lot with Jackson Dart. It's going to help with Scatterbo. It's going to help a lot moving this offense down the field, your tight ends as well. These are the things you want to see, and I definitely I'm if you're a Giants fan, you should be happy about what they did in this draft.
Yeah, 100%. And just to highlight Big Francis numbers, first team Associated Press All American. He's the ACC Jacobs Blocking Trophy Award winner. That goes to the top offensive lineman. First team All AAC, and he started 16 games at right tackle. Um, I did read the tea leaves about him that there was some concerns about his back when he played at Miami. However, it was reported that now that I guess some of the staff that's on the Giants are former medical staff of Miami, so they are very familiar with Big Francis records and that sort of thing. I'm especially now with John Harbaugh there. Maybe with Joe Shane, I probably wouldn't have maybe the biggest confidence, but I'm pretty sure I have a lot more confidence. I'm pretty sure that the Giants did their due diligence on Big Francis medicals. So I wanted to highlight that. So yeah, I'm actually happy for what the Giants were able to do. But obviously, brother, as they say, this is why you got to play the games. You got to play the games, and let's see what that culminates to. Because right now, we did well in the draft last year. However, that didn't translate much into winning. Obviously, you're building a foundation, and like you said, Malachi Fields is going to help in a position where we're lacking. Yes, we did bring in some key free agents. We did, however, we did lose Wandale Robinson. You heard that OBJ worked out for the Giants. I'm one of the Giants that feeling a little nostalgic. I don't mind him being on the team. I don't like, you know what I mean? I get it. Some haters are gonna say, well, Odell is washed up or whatever. But I think the intangibles of what he can bring and the veteran presence that he can bring into that wide receivers core, it's not going to hurt. Very familiar with the franchise, very familiar with John Harbaugh, so I'm not going against it. So let's pivot, brother. Go ahead.
Brother, real quick, regarding Odell, um, one thing to note: you're gonna get a lot more coverage because of that. Just because of him being there, you're
Yeah,
gonna
of
get a
course.
lot.
Yeah, big time, big time.
You're gonna
Big time.
expect a lot of more cameras on you guys. You guys already look like you're on the trend up. You already want to see what this team's gonna do under John Harbaugh. You have young pieces that are being built to build a franchise, and then you add in the OBJ. Now, this is not to say nothing negative about him. Just expect more coverage to go towards the Giants. If things are not going Odell's way, they're going to look at that. They're going to look for, and this is once again if he signs. But just notice that a little bit more. That the cameras are
No,
going to be a little
100%.
bit more.
Yeah, 100%. Let's pivot to the team that also plays in the same building, the New York Jets. Dave's favorite team to hate. And Tro, I don't even think you hate him at this point because there's no reason to hate him. They just suck. In your eyes,
I
not
hate him.
mine.
I hate him.
You hate him? Really? Yeah.
It will forever be that energy. F them.
All right, so let's highlight the Jets, man. The Jets have actually 3 number ones. Obviously, their big pick, the second overall pick, David Bailey, out of Texas Tech, edge rusher there. And this is the big one. Obviously, Arvell, we told you that Arvell was really, a lot of mock drafts had him coming to New York, but wearing that gangrene. But let's just be honest, man. David Bailey, he's up there as well. Like I said, these are all stats guys. We are referring to NFL Next Gen stats. So basis off the combine, he had a production score of 98. That was number one amongst defensive ends and edge rushers. Athleticism was a 79. That's ranking him fifth for a total score of 86, which ranks him the best edge rusher coming out the draft. Let's just highlight his accolades in college. First team Associated Press All-American, Big 12 Conference Defensive Lineman of the Year, Newcomer of the Year. He was a finalist for the Lombardi Award. That's the nation's top lineman. Tied for the FBS lead with 14 and a half sacks. Ranked second with 19 and a half tackles for loss. He played all 14 games and started 13. Forced 3 fumbles. This kid is extremely talented. You look at the strengths. The strengths really outweigh the weaknesses. He makes a lot of plays behind the line of scrimmage, which that needs to happen for the Jets, especially for a defense that underperformed immensely under Aaron Glenn, which you thought Aaron Glenn, being a defensive coordinator, would fix that. Explosive. They said he possesses a rare short area twitch and react agility. So obviously anything that you can use, the Jets need right now. Let's just put it like that. And they're comparing him to Nick Benito. So that's not a bad player to be compared to, although I'm not a big Nick Benito guy after he was talking a lot of smack about my boy Dart last year, but the talent is there. You know what I mean? And look, man, the Jets, I feel like the Jets, brother, are in a position where you have to get the best talented players. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be picky with what you get. So you look at it with the 16th pick, they got Kenyon Sadiq. As we guys said, I'm being very full transparent. Not familiar with these guys. I'm just looking at the stats, and this looks like another hit for the Jets, brother. He ranked 80th. He ranked second amongst tight ends in the combine. First in athleticism, first overall score. His accolades: second team Associated Press, Big Ten Conference Tight End of the Year, first team All Big Ten, finalist for the John Mackey Award, which that's the nation's top 10 tight end. He led college football in tight ends with 8 receiving touchdowns. He set a school record for tight ends with 51 receptions. And his comparison is arguably, I would say, arguably the best tight end in the game right now is Trey McBride. That's not bad. You know what I'm saying? That's not bad. For the Jets, especially with lack of weapons they have on the offensive side of the ball, outside of Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, what are you getting from the Jets? You know what I mean? So when you bring in a veteran like Geno Smith, which will be better than what they had last year, although Geno had a horrible year with Vegas, I think he is a better quarterback than Justin Fields. Can we agree on that? At least throwing wise, maybe not athleticism because of Geno's age, but at least making better throws. Geno's better. Now, that's not saying much. It's
We're in
not
agreement
saying
there.
much.
We're in agreement there.
Yeah, it's not saying much. But they then, with their 30th in the first round, they bring Omar Cooper. That's my brother, Omar Cooper, OC. And, he ranked third on the Combine World Production Score. 18th in athleticism. Overall score, he ranked fourth among wide receivers. His NFL comparison is Deebo Samuels. So you're looking at these guys and you're looking at it. Look, he was tied for third in college football with 13 receiving touchdowns. He led the team. He led his team with 69 receptions, 937 receiving yards. He played all 16 games. He started 14 starts. And obviously he's a national championship winner. But you gotta, the Jets, I felt, did really well. The second round pick, they picked D'Angelo Pons, a cornerback. In the fourth round, they went with Darrell Jackson, the defensive tackle. They got a quarterback. Cade Klubnik. He was, I guess he set the Clemson career record for completions and attempts, and that's saying a lot because Trevor Lawrence was a beast in that school. They had Deshaun Watson, so they've had good quarterbacks in that school. They in the sixth round they went with a guard, Arnez Cooper out of Miami, over 3,000 career snaps in 4 years. And then they got in the seventh round they drafted a safety, VJ Payne out of Kansas State. He started 41 consecutive starts. So overall, brother, I really think that the Jets did well. The Jets, I think, addressed a lot of things that they need a lot. And it's no shade towards the Jets, but I think they addressed a lot. You got you got 2 offensive weapons for Geno to play alongside Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. I like this guy's nephew. I don't know if it's his nephew or his son. It might be his son. Jason Taylor. He's a tight end. I thought he actually had some pretty decent performances for the Jets down the stretch of the season. So, it looks like, they got some good young weapons that they got around the veteran quarterback. Obviously, I don't think that's going to culminate to much wins for the Jets. Let's just be honest. I think real Jet fans can understand that as well. But I do like what the Jets did overall, brother. This is going to be interesting. Where are you going with this? Go ahead.
But so sometimes I have to, I'm still a fan of the game. So sometimes I have to call exactly what it is. Like I said before, call a spade a spade. Look, David Bailey is exactly what the Jets need. They need to get that identity back on that defense. You have a defensive-minded coach, and the fact of the matter is you need someone who brings that identity with them. David Bailey was probably the best defensive player off the board right away, especially at number 2. So it boosts their weak pass rush. It helps them get something that gets that identity. When it comes to the other two pieces that they got in the first round, well, you're helping that offense. Maybe they're not immediate starters, or maybe at least when it comes to Sadiq, because they have Mason Taylor there. When it comes to Omar Cooper, I can see him already wide receiver number 2 right away, helping Garrett Wilson, helping them get some offense moving on that team. And let's get it straight when it comes to this Jets team. We had made it very clear the Jets do not need to go and hit off the quarterback or get that home run pick right away on this draft. They have 2 more first rounders, if I'm not mistaken, next year's draft, and they can go and address that next year. What you want is to build the pieces around that team and make them better, because you can't just put a quarterback immediately in that Jets locker room and expect them that he's going to succeed. You don't need the pressure. Like, you just need to coast by this year. Honestly, you just need to coast by, because guess what? There's still a coach out there who's available, and he automatically upgrades that team right away. I'm telling you right now, they're going to go after him when he's after this year, Tomlin. But at the end of the day,
been on it.
yeah. But I swear this is the best thing that the Jets could have done, is which addressed every facet of the game. You got your defensive players, you got your offense to start it off. The quarterback, you're just another body in the room that helps them. Maybe pick up some stuff from Gino. Who knows? You could be the next whatever quarterback you want to mention who came off a late round draft pick but ended up becoming something. You don't know, but you don't have to hit off and get something. You don't have to reach. You don't have to do anything else than you need to. You just have to build this team around. Make them something for the years to come. You know what I mean, brother?
No, I agree. Guys, let us know in the comments below. What do you think, Jet fans, Giant fans? Let us know in the comments below. What do you think about these picks? How you feeling about these picks? Who's gonna have the biggest overall impact on this team? I think that's pretty easy for both teams. I think it's gonna be their first overall picks. Guys, let us know in the comments below. Go ahead, brother. You got something? You got something to say before we wrap up? What do you think about your boys, the Patriots? What do they do?
So the first pick, they picked up Caleb Lomo, and he probably was the best available lineman at that point. They actually traded up to get him. And that later in the round, somebody had asked me the other day, like, what do you expect for the Patriots in this draft? And I'm like, nothing. We were like going 30, 31st. Like, I don't expect nothing when it comes to what your pick is going to be at that point. But the fact is, they moved up a little bit. They feel like they needed to go get that guy. Rabel wants to build a wall for this team, and Drake May is definitely showing that he is the player that they want him to be. But you need protection around your guy. Speaking of Rabel, there's a lot of things going on there, and let's just say the memes have been funny. I could care less about people's personal lives, but the memes have been hilarious.
Mike Vrabel is.
But they picked up a linebacker later on. They picked up a tight end, and they also picked up corner depth. This team is building all around what they need to do. They didn't address the one position, which I feel is the biggest need on this team, and that's going to be wide receiver. But that's because I feel like there's already something in play coming in the next month or two. Don't be surprised if one of these picks that were involved
might be a
in the
little
2026
birdie.
draft.
Might be a little birdie flying to New England.
Yeah. So don't be surprised if one of these guys are moving in that trade, if that happens.
It's possible. It's possible. But guys, we got Patriot fans that watch the show. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Overall, the NFL draft. I'm gonna be honest, man. The group chat that I'm in at work, they was tapped in all weekend. I will be honest. I love football. I just don't love it that much to go make like after the third round. It's not must-see TV for me after that. Like, it's just like, okay, I'll look into who these players are that the team drafted. I'm not watching day 3 of the draft over the Knicks.
Brother, I'm not watching after the first night.
I think so. What's the first night cover? The first 2 rounds, right?
The first night covers the first round. Then the second and third get covered after.
All right,
that.
so I'm done. So I would say I'm the first night, and then I'm tapped in the second, because I'm tapped in like second and third round, like, because I feel like the second round and third rounds you're always getting. You can still get players that, like, maybe a third round pick, you get them, hey man, he could have been picked in the second, or second round is like, oh, his injuries or his injury scares, he would have been a late first round, but he dropped. That's why, like, once you get to like fifth, sixth, seventh. Now you talking about like super seniors and you know what I mean, guys that you hope, play a little role on your team, but you don't really see them playing much. And I get it. Look, I know someone in the comment section that might roast me and go, Tom Brady was the last pick in the draft. It matters. It does matter. But I'm just saying my level of interest leaves after the third round, especially when you have my other teams playing important games. I guess,
Right.
yeah.
Brother, for me, it's more so like, look, I want to watch the first round. The second and everything else can be covered. I'm into my Twitter, so I'm literally watching every pick that comes up. Mike Reese does great coverage for the Patriots, so I get to see everything that my team is doing as well as there. Ian, Adam Schefter, you have enough sources out there to give you all the things. If you want that information, just put your tweet notifications to come up. You'll get it right away. But I can't watch more than that first night. That's just me
No.
personally. Like you said, our team was also playing the night of the draft, and that was more important to us. Clearly, we had that on the iPad instead of having it on the big screen.
Right.
But yeah, this look for me personally, that's just where I am. If you are a mega fan for that, then that's great. But
No,
there's
yeah,
other
for
things
sure.
going on.
Kudos to you. Let us know in the comments below what you think. But guys, we're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot to our baseball teams, and we're gonna talk about the team that's been winning. So they deserve I guess the A block of the baseball talk. So let's get into it. This is the Pinstripes Report.
The Pinstripe Report.
All right, y'all, this is the Pinstripes Report. This is where we cover them boys from the Bronx. The Bronx Bombers and the Yankees right now, as of this recording, are on a current 8-game winning streak. I'll be honest, I love the way the Yankees are playing. And it's more because of who they're beating the teams. Obviously, they beat up on a Royals team, which the Royals are respectable. They're not as bad as what people think. But I will say this: I loved what they did this past week, where they swept Boston. They beat them so bad. Let's just put it like this: Boston eliminated their whole coaching staff. Obviously, I would love for the Yankees to take credit for the reason why they all got fired. But obviously, Boston has a lot of bigger issues than just them getting their ass beat by the Yankees, which I love to see. I love to see Boston struggle. So I love that I'm not, personally, it sucks that they lost their jobs, but let's just be honest, those guys are well off financially and they'll find jobs very quickly. But then you go to Houston and you go and you beat up on Houston and you're winning series, and that's what matters, especially where we just came from a week 2 weeks ago where the Yankees weren't winning games. They dropped the series in Tampa Bay. They honestly, let's just put it like this: that 4-game set against the Angels really should have been a sweep for the Angels. The Yankees' 2 wins in that series were comeback wins in the ninth. But now it just seems like everything is clicking on all cylinders. You looked at it in the beginning of the season. First few games, the pitching was there. Offense got it just enough hits to get them wins. And then you looked at where the offense was kind of clicking a little bit. And then you saw the pitching kind of laid back. But now you're seeing everything all at the same time. I think that Boston series, man, you really just saw a glimpse of how great this rotation can be. I believe Luis Hill went 6 and a third. Good quality pitching. Then Max Fried goes 8. Then Cam Schlittler, I believe, went 8 the following day. You look at this rotation staff, and Cam Schlittler got let's just put it like this, a 1.77 ERA. You know what I mean? You look at the Yankees numbers, like they're crushing it right now. I think the Yankees have the best pitching staff in baseball right now. They ranked second in pitching behind the Dodgers. But right now, look, man, they're second in WHIP. Opponent's batting average is 5th. This team, they allow their first place in the AL East, allowing significantly fewer runs than anyone in the division. You gotta love where this pitching staff is. The pitching staff is at right now, and we haven't even gotten back Gary Cole and Carlos Rodon. I'm gonna be honest, I'm still not the biggest a fan of Ryan Withers, but he's starting to grow on me. I love where this Yankee team is doing. You know what I mean? The hitting, even when you got right now slow hitting from guys like Josh Chisholm, you look at Ben Rice, man. Ben Rice is killing it right now. You know what I mean? He's tied for the league. He's tied for the league team lead in homers with 9 with Aaron Judge. He's batting 337, 21 RBIs. His on base percentage is 457. He has 28 hits. Stop platooning this guy, Boone. This guy can hit lefties. Stop platooning him. I know you want to give Goldschmidt some play here and there against lefties, but Ben Rice needs to be in the lineup every day as much as Aaron Judge. And another thing before I go to you, brother, shout out to Ryan McMahon. Ryan McMahon has been getting a lot of heat, deservingly so. Deservingly so. Let's not I don't want to act like it wasn't deserving, but he has played a lot better since his skid. You know, he's had now a couple home runs, a few hits in the last 7 games. So I got to give it up to Ryan McMahon. He did hit a home run in Houston. I got to give it up to him there. So I'll do that. But I like the way the Yankees are right now. Obviously, you don't overanalyze April. You know, you really the first evaluation of your baseball team is normally Memorial Day. That's probably the first the first assessment that you make, the first period of where you assess where your team is. But right now, as of this recording, April 26th, I like where the Yankees are right now, brother.
It's hard to argue with that, brother. At the end of the day, the Yankees. There was all right. Luckily, we've switched to doing the lives because we didn't do so much coverage of the Yankees in the last couple of weeks, and the Mets. But let's talk about the Yankees right now. There was a point where we were just going to be just as miserable as the team across town in New York, and luckily the Yankees have gotten it together. They've won their 8th straight game. They're 5-0 on this current road trip. They're beating up on, like you said, the teams that we want to see them beat because we're fans of the game as well, or fans of our teams. Boston, Houston, at this point, they've won already 2 games out of that series. So you won the series. You're just seeing the Yankees clicking in everywhere that you want to see them doing it. Ben Rice, you mentioned him as well. He was somebody that I wanted to bring up. He's having a great time out there, and he's just becoming a guy, one of those staple guys that we know going forward. He's a Yankee for several years, and you have to lock him down because he is if you look up Yankee players that are notable throughout the years, that may not be the big ones that everyone remembers as far as why am I drawing blanks on names right now? But the famous Yankees, the ones that Joe DiMaggio's and all that stuff.
Right.
Well, this is a guy who's just a tier right now at this moment, just below that, but you're going to remember him for years to come. So Ben Rice, keep on doing what you're doing. But we also need Boone to get smarter and just be like, hey, sometimes the analytics aren't just everything. The paper doesn't. The numbers don't always tell you the truth, and you want to see what the guy is doing right now. And Ben Rice is exactly what we need out there. Pitching staff is probably one of the best in baseball right now, and it can only get better. And that's something that we brought up in the beginning going into the season. And the fact that they're performing actually to their standard that we thought they were going to helps us a lot better going in with our aspirations for where we know we want this team to be at the end of this year.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Yankees. They're doing a good job right now. I know Anthony Volpe is rehabbing. I'm going to be honest. Yankee fans, you let us know in the comments below. I don't know if I'm giving him his job automatically back. He might have to earn it. Because I like what Caballero's giving us defensively at shortstop. Ahmed Rosario plugging him in. I thought he's been doing a pretty good job. He's already got more home runs, I think, this season than he had all last year. So I'm not. Look, Caballero went 3 for 5 on Saturday against. I'm not.
And defensively, brother, he's clicking with Rice. So it's just
I'm not sure. I'm instantly giving Volpe his job back. I'll just put it like that. But guys, we got so much. We're gonna move on. But let us know in the comments below what you think about these New York Yankees. How confident are you feeling? A lot of people are comparing this current pitching staff to the 03 pitching staff, and that 03 pitching staff was stacked. That team eventually made the World Series. Unfortunately, they lost, but that team made the World Series, and that was really behind the powerful arms that they had in their rotation. But guys, let's go pivot now to the team across town because it has not been great. It has not been great, and I know it hasn't been great because you know why? Leon, he ain't been sending me nothing, and he's not responding to nothing that I send him. that has anything to do with the New York Mets. So let's get into it, y'all. This is the Amazin Rundown.
The Amazin Rundown.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. All right, baby, let's go. Get a home run, baby. Love the Mets. Let's go, Mets.
All right, y'all, this is the Amazin Rundown. This is where we talk about them boys from Queens, and I'm going to be honest, man, it's been very ugly. As Dave touched on in the Yankee segment, we've been so tapped in with the Knick lives that we wanted to get on the Yankees, and the Yankees were like, yo, let's get our stuff together before a new episode of the Ozone, and the Mets is like, we don't care, because the Mets right now, although the Mets did snap their 12-game losing streak with winning 2 out of 3 against the Twins, which in dramatic fashion, that last game, blowing a big lead, giving up the game-tying grand slam. The Mets went on to lose the first game against the Rockies. It was postponed. They're playing a doubleheader today as this recording, which is on Sunday. So they have an opportunity to win the series, but they're going to have to win both games of this doubleheader, which is going to be tough. Let's just be honest, man. This Mets team, it's. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Everything is not going well when you look at this Mets team. They've lost, obviously, 13 of the last 14 games. In this losing streak, the pitching was atrocious. The batting average, wasn't good. 195 team batting average. The ERA was +5. The Mets only scored only 8 total runs from the 6th inning onward in those 12 games. So they weren't, when they were down early, they were down pretty much throughout the whole game. Obviously, Juan Soto was not there. But the crazy part was when Juan Soto returned, they asked him if he's been in contact with anybody in the team while he was gone, and he said no, which could be a big deal, which cannot be a big deal, but it could be a big deal. Your team is struggling. You would think you probably speak to one teammate about, hey, man, you guys got this. Let's go, man. What I've been seeing. So it's like, are you watching these games? Do you even care? That's one thing. Obviously, he comes back, and then now you lose Lindor. Lindor's on the IL. So this has not been a great season for the Mets. You make big adjustments in the offseason. You let go of Pete Alonso. You trade Jeff McNeil. You trade Brandon Nimmo. You bring in new key guys, Luis Roberts, Bo Bichette, Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien has not panned out well. Luis Roberts did have a hot start in the beginning, but he seemed to cool down. Bo Bichette is very hit or miss, struggled. Yes, he got a big hit in that Minnesota game, but right now, for the money that you're paying Bo Bichette, I would think you would probably want a little bit more from Bo Bichette, considering what you're paying him right now. You look at Bo Bichette's, he has what? He's batting .259, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. That's not what you gave Bo Bichette that money for right now. So he has 12 RBIs. Sorry about that. He has one home run, 12 RBIs. You look at Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien is bad, bro. Marcus Semien is bad right now. He's batting, what, .228. He's got 1 home run, 8 RBIs. He has not been good. This Mets team, and then you look at the pitching staff, and the pitching staff, really outside of maybe Clay Holmes and McLean, they have not been good. David Peterson has been hit or miss. Kodai Senga got rocked. It just hasn't been that good. Devin Williams is becoming what we all thought. Yankees Devin Williams. Luke Weaver has wavered a bit. This right now, as they said, there's a saying in baseball, guys. You can't win the division in April, but you can lose it. You can lose the division in April. And right now, and I was wrong right now. I thought they would be better than Atlanta. And right now, they're 9 games behind Atlanta. The Mets right now, this recording is 9-17. So, I don't know, brother. What's your thoughts?
Look, they had a rough skid, and I don't blame any fan at this point to be upset because this is a Mets team that had high aspirations for these last couple of years, especially since new ownership has taken over. And then you go and you make the big splashes with Juan Soto, and none of this at this moment is Juan Soto's fault because he's not on the field, so we can't blame him, right? But
Right.
the Mets have definitely just I just don't get it in a sense that this team should be performing better. And I get it; it's April. It's too early to make that judgment where they can't get better. But man, you're playing from behind right away, and you know the summer months are coming. You're expecting that the team should get better when when it's warmer weather. Teams do tend to perform better. Or at least players start to warm up, right? The winter, they're shaking off that cold,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still not a good look for a team that should be in the playoff picture. The fact is, this team did not make it last year, and you're now
Right.
on your way to go ahead and repeat the same mistakes that you did last
Right.
year.
Right.
This team definitely has the potential to turn it around, compete at least not for the division title. I don't think they win the division this year, but they at least can make it running for that postseason.
Okay, and I was just
And
gonna ask you that. Do you think that the Mets can turn it around enough where they can make a prime run for the postseason? So you're saying, yeah,
absolutely,
okay,
but you also don't sit on your ass. You don't go ahead and
yeah,
and see like look at this roster and be like, you know what, this is exactly the team that's going to get us to October. No,
yeah,
there's adjustments that need to be made. There's things that need to be talked about, and there's people who's just like, you know what, you're not with the program. Maybe you have to get out. Look, Francisco Lindor was a focal point. He was a graphic in our thumbnail for you one of the episodes recently,
yeah,
and he clearly is somebody who's also lacking on this team. But he's not just the only one. Right now, the Mets, as far as with runs, they're ranked 29th. Hits, they're ranked 26th. With home runs, they're ranked 26th. RBIs, they're 30th. When it comes to their pitching staff, they're not far behind, and they're also letting it down. When it comes to wins, they're 29th. When it comes to strikeouts, they're 10th. This team all around is just having a bad year, and I believe ERA is 14th. Yeah, they're having a bad year, but that doesn't mean that can't be turned around. Just talk to your guys and get this thing accountable. And hey, you just saw what the Boston Red Sox just did to their coaching. Maybe that happens over here if this continues to happen.
yeah, 100%. But guys, let us know in the comments below, Met fans, what's your confidence that they can bounce back and eventually maybe make this season worthwhile, or is this dead on arrival? Let us know in the comments below. But speaking of dead on arrival, brother, we got to talk about guys whose career with the WWE is officially dead because the WWE released a lot of talent, very big name, notable talent as well. So let's get into it, y'all. This is Let's Talk Wrestling.
Give me a hell yeah! What? What?
All right, y'all, this is Let's Talk Wrestling. This is where we cover everything in the wrestling world. And right now, WWE with their, if you guys don't know, WWE always post-Mania, always make their, around WrestleMania season, it's always the post-WrestleMania cuts. And right now, WWE has done that, and they released a lot of talent. And when I say a lot of talent, they released a lot of talent. Kyrie Sane, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Uncle Howdy, a.k.a. Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Santos Escobar, Motor City Machine Guns, which are two people. That's a tag team. Dexter Loomis, Apollo Cruz, Rowan, Joe Gacy, Andre Chase, Zoe Stark, Aubrey Fire, Tara May Steele, Serena Linton, Tyson, Tariq, Chris Allen, Malik Blade, Trill London, and Luca Cristofono. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of them that I don't recognize, but the big names are the Wyatt Six. That's been led by Bo Dallas, the brother of Bray Wyatt. Kyrie Sane, who was tag team partners with Oscar with the Kabuki Warriors. Obviously, the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley. And then you have Zelina Vega and her husband, Aleister Black, formerly known as Malachi Black in AEW. Brother, what was the biggest surprise of the names being released that caught you?
I would say Aleister Black because he was
Yeah.
somebody apparently who was. I don't. You know what? I'm gonna make that as a two-parter. Aleister Black and Kairi Sane. So both of them were heavily involved in storylines. You had little notes of Aleister Black and being tied to the Randy Orton storyline, and people thought that that's where they were going instead of getting Pat McAfee, Zelina. I have my gripes about you, and we could talk about you towards after that. But Kairi Sane was also active in the storyline. She was just used on Monday. So the fact is that, brother, you mentioned it. This is something we as WWE fans or wrestling fans have been accustomed to. We usually call them Black Mondays or Black Fridays, and apparently it was Black Friday this year. They let people go in this fashion, and it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, some of these people are not cutting the mustard, but then also TKO is just more so like, well, you're not making anything for us. You're not bringing any income. You're not moving the needle for us. So we just want to cut the fat. And unfortunately for some of these people, you know, it sucks because that's where you thought you were home. You thought the grass was greener on this side. But the fact of the matter is that sometimes if you're just not the guy, you're just not the guy. And this is what they felt about these people who they let go.
Yeah, look, this was, I think Selena Vega mentioned it. This was the first time that cuts were actually, they were given out by TKO. Normally it's by WWE and stuff like that, but they were actually given out by TKO. And I mentioned that because Ari Emanuel, who is the CEO of TKO, his salary went up to 67.4 million in 2025. That's from 18 million he made in 2024. So you look at everyone that he laid off. Obviously, they have a 90-day non-compete, so they will get paid for those 90 days. But you look at, yeah, you got to cut talent because look how much you're paying your damn CEO. $67.4 million. We got our gripes with TKO, and that's a whole nother conversation. But to get back to the talent, I think I'm with you, brother, on Kairi Sane. I think being the biggest, because right, like Aleister Black was in storylines, right? But Kairi Sane was like literally in the middle of one. You know what I mean? And that's surprising. I think going to the Aleister Black thing, as we always said, brother, grass is not always greener, buddy. You know what I mean? You got let go in the pandemic cuts. AEW came in, put you in a prime position. You know, you squashed Cody Rhodes. You came in hot, and then you hear the rumblings that he didn't want to take pinfalls, and I think that's very true now because you have some AEW talent that have been very active on Twitter when fans have said, "Hey, they should bring back Malachi Black," and they're like, "Nope." So that tells me when talent is like when you see things like that from talent, tells me that's probably more true than we thought about him trying to be too big league and not take losses. Um, so and I like Aleister Black, I actually do, but it couldn't happen to a greater guy. It couldn't. You know what I mean? Like I would be honest. Like you went in and they showed the dates. He literally just been there a whole year. You lost every big match that you probably were in. You didn't have. It's not like you had such great segments. I don't even think he had a PLE match, and you did that when you were in a prime position, leading one of the hottest groups in the company. They treated you like a star, and you left because you thought you were bigger than what you are, and now you might have burned your bridge because I don't think AEW is bringing them back. I don't think they're gonna bring in Zelina Vega, which they called her. I just saw it this morning. They called her Timu Mercedes Monet, which is crazy.
I think that's too
I think
nice
that's
of a
too
comparison.
crazy. Too nice.
I think that's too nice of a comparison, brother. Like just because she has the last name that I have, that's not her real name. But that just
Right.
because she has that, I'm not going to be nice with her. Look, the fact of the matter is that I'm very annoyed with Zelina and her comments towards Sean.
Sean Ross. That was so corny.
Because at the end of the day, he is a reporter. You should be mad at the people who cut you instead of the person who's reporting. He is doing his job. It's not like you have a good relationship with him where he could be like, "Hey, Zelina, I'm going to give you the chance to do." No. You don't have that. You don't have that. Right. So the fact is that like you're getting mad at the wrong people, and that's fine. You could be frustrated. I understand. We've all been let go maybe from a job where we felt like, you know what, they did me dirty and F everyone, blah blah blah. Oh, this person who has nothing to do with it. Well, guess what? He's also going to get in the fire of this. Right. But at the end of the day, you're taking all the wrong frustrations on the wrong people. So 100%. I'm really annoyed by your comments.
I couldn't agree with you more. I could not agree with you more. I thought the same thing. Like he's a reporter, he's a journalist. He's just doing that. Like right.
Don't
Be
shoot the
mad.
messenger.
Be right. Exact. There you go. That's the perfect sentiment for that. I think so. Brother, let's pick one time. Well, I think the easiest one would probably be Motor City Machine Guns going to AEW. I think that's the easiest one. But if you could pick a talent and you feel like the right company, you feel like this person can excel at. Because let's be honest, it's not the end of the road for these guys. There's a lot of top talent that have been cut before that went to the indies, went to other promotions, and built back their stock where they either got a prime position in AEW or went and got a bigger role in WWE. Look, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, those guys were cut. Those guys were on the list of these guys of mid-card guys that didn't excel. They went on, bet on themselves, got back, and now they're in A-block segments. Which talent here of this list do you feel like, okay, they can perform a little better here, raise their stock in another company? And which company would it is, if you got that as well?
All right, brother. This is a two-parter. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
All right. Number one, Aleister Black.
Right.
Go to New Japan. Go build your brand over there. Go just do your stuff. We understand that Aleister Black is one of those wrestlers that I like because I'm into the metal, the rock, the darks, and all that stuff. But he's somebody who can build himself over there. You don't need to include your wife, but fine, she comes along with the package deal.
Right.
So whatever. I like to see him build his cachet up there and also learn how to take some pinfalls because clearly where you thought the grass was greener didn't let you to do that. And you can see it. Like you said, AEW stars are very vocal about they didn't like some guys who left because they didn't want to.
Right.
Oh, I curse. They didn't want to take some losses.
They didn't want to take losses, right.
So definitely go over there, build your brand, go and get yourself up. The other person is Santo Escobar.
I think man. That was my pick. Go ahead.
I feel like there's too many Mexican promotions right now that you can go and build your brand over there and do something. So I think choose your pick of the litter out of those wrestling companies and go and build.
Well, it ain't gonna be AAA.
Well, yeah.
No, look, I agree. That's what I was gonna go with. I was gonna go with Santos Escobar. I would have said AEW had Andrade not gone back. I thought, because I like Santos Escobar. I think he could go in the ring. I actually think, he's much better on the microphone than Andrade. But the character is too much of alike. They're too much alike. But I was with you on that, brother. I'm thinking anything overseas, Mexico, New Japan. I don't want him in TNA because I just don't. I think TNA will make him look like a Timu, like Mexican drug lord, and it's gonna look whack. Like TNA doesn't have the production to make him look like a bigger star. So, I let him go overseas. Let him go to New Japan or CMLL, and let him do his thing there. Anything overseas, I think he can bring his stock back up overseas. And since you did a two-parter, Kairi Sane, AEW. That's it.
Automatic.
I definitely see her coming. I the only way I don't see her going to AEW is she wants to go back to Japan, but AEW might give her that luxury of, hey, you can do both if you want.
Right.
So I think Kairi saying the AEW is a as much as an automatic as it is Motor City Machine Guns. Like that's already they're going to AEW. You already know.
Tony Khan loves his Japanese female wrestler, so we already know that she should be a lot.
100%. But guys, let us know in the comments below about the WWE cuts. Which talent do you feel like has an opportunity to excel, and which company is it going to be? Let us know in the comments below. But guys, we cannot wrap up an episode without sharing the highlight of the week.
He's on fire!
All right, y'all. Highlight of the week is going to go to our very New York Knicks, and it's not the sexiest, but you know what? It's sexy when it comes to team basketball and ball movement. You look at it with Josh Hart pushing it, kicks it out the car. Anthony Towns looks like he's going to do the pull-up. No. What he does, finds an open cutting Hart, cuts it to an LG Anunoby, and you know what? OG passes a good shot for a great shot as he passes it to Jalen Brunson for the elbow three. This Knicks team in a game where they needed the win to save their season, to get away from a tough 3-1 position, they go out and play great team basketball, and that play was indicative of the effort and the style that the Knicks played to get the win and need to play going forward in this postseason, brother.
100%. The effort we saw in Game 4 with the Knicks all around was exactly what we wanted to see. And the fact is that that's what we expected from them coming into this playoffs and what they could have done to this Hawks team. But you got it. You said it right. The facilitating and passing it to the next guy and make sure, you know what, I don't got this shot, but someone else does. And OG recognizing, because OG's been having a great 2 games in the past 2 at the time of this recording, has been having a great game. But the fact is that he's like, you know what, there's someone else open. Let me pass it over to him. And Brunson finishes it and makes it look clean. This is the Knicks team that we expect to see going forward, and we hope that this is what we want. We continue to get. But brother, this I think this is the most deserving of the highlight of the week this right now.
Yeah, for sure. But guys, let us know in the comments below what you thought was the highlight of the week. But guys, right now, if you are watching this episode as it airs at 5 p.m., we got a Nick Live playoff reaction show later tonight, 8 p.m. So you already know to tap in with your boys. We're going to be breaking down Game 5. So guys, and remember, we are going live the following day after every Knicks playoff game. This is where you get the unfiltered, real reactions of super producer Dave and I. We have let a lot of F-bombs fly on that one, especially after the Game 3 loss. So, guys, you already know to tap in with your boys. And remember, guys, to like us on all our social media platforms. We are available on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and Reddit, guys. So I don't have the sheet there. I was trying to get it off the cuff. But guys, make sure to follow us there. Let us know in the comments below. Remember, guys, to hit a like, share, subscribe to the Ozone. We are growing as the day is going, and we appreciate you guys for doing that and tapping in with your boys. But in the meantime, in between time, guys, enjoy your week, and we roll with y'all. We check y'all out on the live, baby.
If it's New York sports, welcome to the Ozone. Welcome to the Ozone. Same city, New Year. Same pressure, new tone. New York, boys loud. It's the Ozone.